More than 2,000 years ago, in ancient Greece, poets like Homer documented Greek mythology, telling stories of heroes, gods from Mount Olympus, and unfortunate mortals. Greek mythology begins with the primordial chaos, from which Gaia, the earth, and Eros, love, emerged. Then night and day appeared, marking the cycle of light and darkness, and Tartarus, the place of punishment for condemned souls. Gaia gave birth to Uranus, the sky, and together they had the Titans. If this is your first time on the channel, subscribe now so you don't miss any important content about the darkest chapters of our history. Uranus, being a cruel father, imprisoned the Titans in the earth. Gaia helped her son Cronus free them, who castrated Uranus. Cronus became the new ruler, but fearing being overthrown by one of his children, he devoured each of them at birth, except for Zeus, who was saved by his mother Rhea. Raised in secret, Zeus eventually challenged Cronus, freed his siblings, and defeated the Titans in a war that lasted 10 years. The Titans were imprisoned in Tartarus, and Atlas was punished with holding the sky forever. Zeus, Poseidon, and Hades divided the world between them. Zeus obtained the sky, Poseidon the sea, and Hades the underworld. The Olympian gods resided on Mount Olympus and ruled over mortals and monsters. Prometheus, a Titan allied with Zeus, created humanity from clay and gave them fire. Zeus punished humanity for Prometheus' deception by taking away fire, but Prometheus stole it back and was punished with eternal torment. Zeus created Pandora, the first woman, to further punish humanity. Pandora opened a box that released all evils, leaving only hope, marking the end of the Golden Age, a time of perfection. To punish human corruption, Zeus sent a flood that only Deucalion and Pyrrha survived by taking refuge in an ark. Later, they repopulated the earth by throwing stones that turned into people. Zeus, known for his infidelities, had numerous children with goddesses and mortals, generating conflicts and revenge, especially with Hera. Other important gods included Apollo, associated with music and medicine, Artemis, goddess of the hunt, and Poseidon, god of the sea and earthquakes. Zeus punished Poseidon and Apollo by making them serve King Laomedon of Troy, building the city walls. Athena won the patronage of Athens by offering an olive tree, while Poseidon offered salty water. Aphrodite, the goddess of love, used Eros to provoke love. Narcissus died enamored with his own reflection, and Pygmalion fell in love with a statue that Aphrodite turned into a real woman. Psyche, after overcoming trials imposed by Aphrodite, gained immortality and married Eros. Hephaestus, god of blacksmithing, was expelled from Olympus but returned to take revenge on Hera and then married Aphrodite. Ares, god of war and lover of Aphrodite, was caught in a net by Hephaestus. He also had a romance with Eos, the goddess of the dawn, who transformed Tithonus into a cicada because of his eternal aging. Hermes, the messenger god, traveled between Olympus and the underworld and fathered Pan, the god of nature, who created the Pan flute in honor of the nymph Syrinx. Dionysus, god of wine, was born from Zeus and granted Midas the gift of turning everything into gold, which later became a curse. Demeter, goddess of agriculture, caused a famine while searching for her daughter Persephone, who was kidnapped by Hades. Persephone was bound to the underworld after eating a pomegranate seed, which caused the seasons of the year. Hephaestus, god of blacksmithing, trapped his wife Aphrodite and Ares in an invisible net. Ares also had an affair with Eos, the goddess of the dawn. Hades ruled the underworld, where souls were judged and sent to different destinations depending on their actions in life. Cadmus, upon founding Thebes and killing a sacred dragon of Ares, was punished by serving the god. In his marriage to Harmonia, they received a cursed necklace that brought misfortune to their family. The curse of Thebes extended to Oedipus, who unknowingly fulfilled a prophecy by killing his father Laius and marrying his mother Jocasta, leading to his downfall and exile. In Argos, Perseus, grandson of King Acrisius, killed Medusa and saved Andromeda, and after returning to Seriphos, freed his mother Danae and accidentally killed his grandfather, fulfilling another prophecy. Perseus founded Mycenae and had Hercules with Andromeda. Hercules, son of Zeus and Alcmene, was condemned by Hera to perform 12 labors to atone for his sins. These included killing the Nemean lion, defeating the Lernaean hydra, capturing the Ceryneian hind, the boar of Erymanthus, cleaning the Augean stables, and facing the birds of Stymphalus. He later captured a wild bull in Crete, retrieved the horses of Diomedes, obtained the belt of Hippolyta, stole the cattle of Geryon, gathered the golden apples of the Hesperides, and captured Cerberus from the underworld. After completing his tasks, Heracles joined the Argonauts on their quest for the Golden Fleece and married Deianira. His death was caused by the poisoned blood of the centaur Nessus, who deceived Deianira. Heracles was taken to Olympus and became immortal. The first age of heroes ended with the rise of a new generation led by Jason, who embarked on the quest for the Golden Fleece with the Argonauts. The Argonauts continued their quest for the Golden Fleece, facing numerous challenges. Upon reaching Colchis, Medea, daughter of King Aetes and a powerful sorceress, fell in love with Jason and helped him obtain the fleece. Medea killed her brother Apsyrtus to facilitate the Argonauts' escape. On their return, they faced the bronze giant Talos in Crete, whom Medea defeated using magic. Back in Iolcus, Jason and Medea avenged the death of Jason's father by tricking the daughters of King Peleus into killing their own father. Discovered, they were exiled to Corinth, where Jason betrayed Medea by marrying Princess Creusa. In revenge, Medea killed Creusa, her father, and her own children before fleeing. Jason died alone and desolate, crushed by the ship Argo. In Athens, Theseus arrived to claim his inheritance, facing and defeating the Marathonian bull. He then volunteered to face the Minotaur of Crete. With the help of Ariadne, who gave him a ball of thread to navigate the labyrinth, Theseus killed the Minotaur and planned to return to Athens with Ariadne. After a hard battle, Theseus killed the Minotaur in the labyrinth of Crete, and using Ariadne's thread, escaped with her and the other Athenians. However, on returning to Athens, Theseus abandoned Ariadne on the island of Dia, where she was found by the god Dionysus, who took her to Olympus as his wife. By forgetting to change the ship's sails to white, Theseus caused the death of his father, King Aegeus, who thought his son had died. Zeus, concerned with the excess of demigods, decided to end this era of heroes. In Troy, King Priam and Queen Hecuba ruled alongside their children, Hector and Cassandra. Cassandra, gifted with the ability of prophecy but cursed not to be believed, foresaw the great war coming to Troy, marking the beginning of an epic conflict in Greek mythology. Apollo, jealous, cursed Cassandra so that no one would believe her prophecies. Paris, Cassandra's brother, was raised by a shepherd after his mother, Hecuba, received a prophecy that he would bring destruction to Troy. Meanwhile, Zeus, transformed into a swan, had 4 children with Leda, including Helen, the most beautiful woman in the world. To avoid conflict, Helen chose to marry Menelaus, king of Sparta, and her suitors swore to protect her choice. At the wedding of Thetis and Peleus on Mount Olympus, Eris, the goddess of discord, threw a golden apple for the fairest, sparking a dispute between Hera, Athena, and Aphrodite. Zeus decided that Paris, raised as a shepherd, would choose the winner. Aphrodite promised Paris the most beautiful woman in the world, and he chose her. Guided by Aphrodite, Paris traveled to Sparta, seduced Helen, and took her to Troy, triggering the concerns of Hector and Cassandra about the imminent war. Menelaus, furious over Helen's abduction, gathered a Greek army against Troy, including Agamemnon, Achilles, and other warriors. Agamemnon had to sacrifice his daughter Iphigenia to sail to Troy, where they met the Trojans and their allies, like Aeneas and the Amazons. The war lasted 9 years without decisive progress. The conflict between Achilles and Agamemnon over the captive women Briseis and Chryses led to Achilles' withdrawal, allowing Hector to attack the Greeks. Patroclus, Achilles' friend, was killed by Hector, motivating Achilles to return to battle and kill Hector. With Troy weakened, Odysseus devised the plan of the wooden horse to infiltrate the city. The Trojans, deceived, brought the horse into Troy, allowing the Greeks to open the gates from within and sack the city. Priam was killed, and other Trojans suffered tragedies. Odysseus faced numerous challenges on his return to Ithaca, including encounters with Cyclopes, cannibal giants, and the sorceress Circe. After being held captive by Calypso for 7 years, he finally returned to Ithaca. There, disguised as a beggar, he participated in an archery competition organized by his wife Penelope, defeating the suitors who occupied his home and reclaiming his kingdom. Odysseus finally reunited with Penelope, who had remained faithful during his 20-year absence. With his return, the era of heroes ended, marking the beginning of the Iron Age, in which humans faced the challenges of life without the intervention of the gods, free to shape their own destiny. They would invent the printing press, discover gravity, harness the power of steam, and create light from the energy that now fueled their civilization. And one day, this iron race would use its great talents to travel to the heavens themselves, where, for just a moment, they could see their home from the perspective of the gods. If you've made it this far and have learned something new from our stories, subscribe and activate the bell so you don't miss our next videos. Together, we can discover and remember the truths that history